delighted to have today Jenny and Kath both sign the pledge supporting the campaign, and unfortunately to this point we've received a deafening silence from the opposition. What we plan to do with the pledges that we collect from around the country is talk to our members about them and communicate to our members about what the position is of each of the major parties when they come to decide who they're going to vote for. And from what we've seen so far, we think the choice for our members is very clear, but we want to make sure that our members are informed about what they're thinking about when it comes to this issue when they vote. So thanks for coming. And I think I'm handing over to Danielle, who's going to give you a special pen.
Which is already in place. So here is a pen for you to keep if you sign. If you don't sign,
some electoral law against that.
You just got to declare it, that's all.
Thank you for your time today and for supporting, signing the pledge to support us. It's greatly appreciated, and we all here have been fighting for a long time, so it's great to see people now coming on board. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just first of all say to Rick and all of the staff here at Melbourne City Mission how much we appreciate this opportunity today, and once again thank you for coming in from your leave. It is true that this Labor government has been an enormous supporter of Melbourne City Mission, but also of the not-for-profit sector more broadly. We do recognise that in our pursuit of social justice, we cannot achieve what we want to achieve without you. You are the people who've been here for more than any government, longer than any government, longer than any institution that is related to government. You're the ones who are making sure that people who are homeless, people who need your support, you're the people who are there each and every day. We do recognise that. I think you would understand that we have been absolutely determined to deliver to those who need it most, to people who are homeless, to make sure that we build the affordable housing that's necessary and provide the increased support for services, to support you in your efforts to help those who are unemployed, particularly the very long-term unemployed, to make sure that we're there with you in the way that you work with families and with children who are neglected or in danger. And in my area, all of these issues, of course, are absolutely critical. So before I get to the equal pay issues, I just wanted to really say from the government's broader perspective, we respect and acknowledge the enormous contribution that you make, and we know that you will be there forever. So we very much appreciate it. We also understand, of course, that equal pay is your right. We do think that equal pay is something that we should all be pursuing together, and of course you'd be very well aware that Julia Gillard, as the Minister for Workplace Relations, signed the Heads of Agreement with the Australian Services Union, and we of course want to continue to work with you on what will be a very, very important test case. So we acknowledge the contribution of the union, but we also understand our responsibility as a government to work with you in that test case. We also know that the importance of this pledge is that we not only pursue the test case, but that we also pursue the funding that will be necessary to make sure that whatever comes from the test case is able to be implemented. And that's one of the reasons that I'm so pleased to be here with Kath Botel today. I've known Kath for a very long time, as I know many of you have too. I think we are enormously privileged to have Kath Botel as our Labor candidate here in this very, very important seat of Melbourne. And I know that she will go on to be a very, very senior member of a future Labor government. She has the enormous experience and intellectual grit that will make sure that she is able to make a huge contribution to our collective future. So it's a great pleasure for me to be able to come here and sign this pledge with her. You all know her from her trade union background. She's a fabulous advocate. I think she will be a great advocate for social justice if she is elected on the 21st of August. So once again, it is our great pleasure to come here today to indicate our support for equal pay and to make sure that we continue to work to deliver the funding that will be necessary to support the results. So thank you.
Perhaps if I can just finish off by saying two things. When I left the ACTU in May, one of the things that I was very sad to leave behind was this equal pay case. I was with the ASU, with Lisa, as we negotiated that heads of agreement through with Julia, now the Prime Minister, and the opportunity to be involved in the case was something that I didn't like to walk away from. And so I hope that I am able to continue to play a role in delivering that. I think we're going to get a great result in the case, but delivering that through the funding arrangements, which Jenny said are going to be so important, because I know just how important it is that we don't just deliver the equal pay for the workforce, but we continue to deliver the services to the clients in the social and community services sector, and the two have to go hand in hand. The other thing I wanted to say is that when Lindsay Tanner said that he was stepping down and people started to ask me if I would like to put my hand up to run for this seat, I think there are three things that the member for Melbourne has always been. They've always been someone who's been a voice for recently arrived migrant communities, and that is something that I would like to do if I'm successful. But they've also been a voice for good public policy in the interests of the most vulnerable people in our community. And in this electorate, there are a lot of people who are quite well off. It's a very rich electorate. We have the universities, we have the research institutes, we have the cultural and artistic sort of infrastructure. But we also have so many very vulnerable people. We have very high levels of people who are homeless, people living in our public housing estates. When we built those estates, they nearly all worked, and now they nearly all don't work. And finding job opportunities for those people is such an important thing that we need to do, and we have to continue to deliver for their health as well. And I was really pleased the other day to be at the opening of the new North Richmond Community Health Centre, which is going to have 7 dentists, and that's an enormous improvement in terms of health outcomes for those vulnerable people. So I don't know what's going to happen in a fortnight's time, but I hope that I'm about to be able to continue to work with the ASU and the other unions on the case, and to work in government towards a great outcome for the social and community services sector.
Yay.
Minister, if I might just add to that, because it's really important for an organisation like ours, based in the city and the largest organisation serving the most vulnerable people in the city. It's really important for us to have a really good working relationship with our member, and I'm absolutely confident that we're going to continue to do that. And if you've got any influence around the traps, make sure I'm not supposed to be partisan. Bloody well do it. Thank you very much.
Okay, we've got a sign line.
There's 2, you can sign 1 each.
Okay,
You've got to come from
just
here.
make sure the pen's
And we
working.
checked
Oh, we
that,
did that.
You know, we're all, you know, it was all...
We're on the ball here at the end.
Oh, yeah. I only could have done a mail.
Well, it works when we try it.
Hey, 10,000 at a rally and a pen with ink.
Write my name up here too.
The 10.